Hello everyone, hope you're all doing as well as possible. In the past few years, I have been starting to unmask. And if you're unfamiliar with that term, masking means an autistic person is trying to act as normal as possible. Just like a physical mask conceals the face, we put on proverbial masks to hide our autism. One simple example of unmasking is using a fidget in public. Another example of unmasking is if you're out in public with a friend and you start having sensory overload, instead of just trying to buck up and deal with it, you tell them you need to go to a quieter spot in order to prevent a meltdown or at least lessen the severity of the impending meltdown. The more I unmask, the more I realize just how profound my sensory issues are. And I'm realizing that it's particularly bad in the summer. I can't wear my fidget rings as often because my hands feel sweaty and gross. So this leads to more frequent skin picking on my hands, which means having to disinfect the spots I've picked. And thanks to my autism, I have the nose of a bloodhound. So the disinfectant smells absolutely terrible to me. Another summer sensory issue for me is clothes. I like wearing as much clothing as possible. It's not a purity culture thing or anything like that. It's because soft fabric is comforting and it helps me feel more secure in my body, almost like a comforting hug, which sounds weird, but that's how it works. I used to be able to tolerate maxi or midi skirts even in the heat of summer, but I am now in the throes of perimenopause, so I have to wear shorts more often, and it feels weird, and I hate it. A semi-related issue is blankets. I have a weighted blanket that helps me sleep a lot better. Autism, vision loss, and PTSD is a nasty combination when it comes to trying to sleep. But the weighted blankets are furnaces, so that's out the window in the summer. I've been trying a soft cotton blanket this summer, which is better than nothing, so we'll see how that goes. The medical world is finally studying neurodivergent women, and they're figuring out that perimenopause and menopause are often happening younger in neurodivergent women, and it can be particularly intense if you're neurodivergent, which makes a lot of sense because our nervous systems are constantly under stress. And I am taking estrogen and it's making a huge difference, but it doesn't completely erase the problem, obviously. The important thing for neurotypical people to understand here is that masking and sensory issues build up in your brain and your body over time. I live with several health issues that don't usually happen to people on my side of 50, but all of those years of physical and mental stress take its toll on my body. I am not just an autistic person or just a cult survivor. I am an autistic cult survivor. It's a volatile combination. I recently changed primary doctors, and my new doctor was surprised that I'm living with so many health things. And then I told her that I'm autistic and a cult survivor, and she said that made perfect sense. I am hoping that summer will get a little easier from here on out. By the time I got around to filming this, it's the end of August, but it's still pretty humid, so this still feels relevant. Like I said, I'm hoping it gets easier now that I'm unmasking and being more open about my sensory issues and being more aware of my sensory issues. And since I'm also being more open with my doctors and my neurodivergent friends, I am hoping I can do more brainstorming and find more sensory hacks to help me get through the heat and humidity. Alright, that's it for this video. If you struggle with sensory issues, particularly in the summer, I would love to hear what works for you. If you have any questions or autism-related topics you'd like me to cover, please leave them in the comments section. And remember, if you are neurodivergent, there is nothing wrong with you, and you are doing the best you can. Alright, take care. Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor and hit the thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Like you try. Oh, bye.